start to, well, I didn't start listening to it until the How to Talk to Yourself. This book, I didn't even need to read the summary of the book. 14-Day Mind Cleanse. Bunny hops right off. Stay at peace. Love yourself. Hi guys, it's Leanne here, and today is actually day 20 of Vlogmas. And when I tell you I have been in my pajamas all day, I've been in my pajamas all day because quite literally me and my mom went to the car wash and washed our car. But it felt nice to do nothing after a long week anyway. I needed a little reset, meaning like a bed rotting day. I was actually rotting on the couch most of the day. I got a new stand. It's the 40 ounce, it's a light blue, and I like her. I talked to you guys a couple days ago about habits and habit stacking and all that wonderful jazz. Well, I think I also talked to you guys about how I was listening to Atomic Habits. When I started listening to Atomic Habits, I was going in with an open mind. No clue what it was going to be talking about. I had no words to describe. I guess I just went in to listening to the book. I do want to read the book, but I went in listening to the book with a very open mind, and I'm only, let's see, so I'm about an hour-ish into the book, maybe like 80 minutes max. So it's about like almost 7.5 hour book, audio version. Then went on my Pinterest, and if you guys don't know or don't really understand why you think about something or talk to your Alexa about something or whatever, and a couple days later it'll pop up on your feed, whether that be YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Google, like it'll pop up on your feed and or as an advertisement. That's because your phone and everything listens to you, if you didn't know that. I feel like we should all know that by now, but moral of the story is my feed on Pinterest ended up being about self-help. Now, because I just recently did my vision board video, which you guys should totally go on, I had a lot of self-help stuff on there already, but it got to the point where I was like looking at one feed, like one Pinterest, one tab for like 20 minutes, looking at everything it has on there and just like thoroughly investigating the Pinterest tab, if you will. Moral of the story is I wanted to make a video for you guys about self-help books that I want to read or listen to, whether that, you know, be while I'm cleaning or driving to work. One of my habits that I've been kind of just stacking on top of a couple of habits, some of them I've already had, a few of them I'm adding to my routine. Bear with me, I have no chapstick and I am so not going downstairs. I can tell I haven't drank that much water too because I feel dehydrated. Listening to Atomic Habits, and it's been kind of transforming my mind little by little. When I listen to it, I almost think about things in my life currently that I could fix based off of those habits and based off of the information that they're giving me. And I think it's a really good start to, well, end of the new year. That makes no sense. It's a nice end to the new year and start of the beginning of the, since we're pretty much settled down, we all have jobs. I'm focusing on, you know, getting my bedroom together, that way I can focus on like working on my closet, because I need, my closet is definitely in dire need. I've kind of just been processing as I did at the end of 2024, and I talked to you guys about it last year on my Vlogmas episodes, which I do have a playlist that you should totally go watch and binge, especially on Christmas. I film 30, I think I filmed 33 videos. It's supposed to be 31, obviously. and then I end up having 2 extra videos that I always forget that I don't need at the end of November. So moral of the story is I have been wanting to work on myself a lot more. There's a lot of things that I definitely can be working on, and to give you guys a list, it's really not necessary, because I think the wonderful and beautiful thing about helping yourself is that no one really needs to know. You know what I'm saying? No one really needs to know. It's one of those things that it's literally between you and yourself. You're fighting your demons. I feel like when I say that, I'm gonna get some people now or in the future like inner demons, and I'm not much of a religious person. I talk about that on my channel here and there. I am really wanting to heal the best version of myself, but I can't be the vision board that I want and have the attitude and mindset that I have. Going into 2026, I was actually just looking at my vision board. I really want to work on prioritizing myself. I feel like I said that last year, the end of 2024, when I made my new vision board, or my 2025 vision board video. But in all honesty, I feel like I took a lot of turns this year to understand how I feel and why I feel those ways, and ways that I can fix it. When I'm talking to you guys about these books are something I feel like everybody should be reading, even if you're not even reading them and you're just listening to them, because quite literally you'll think you're not paying attention until you start talking to yourself or thinking to yourself, holy shit, I should have been doing that from the get-go. I don't know why I'm doing this instead of that, you know. I caught myself doing it, and I actually got inspired a while ago. I was about to say Reagan 777, but we all know who Reagan is. But I got inspired to think about watching it a long time ago, but in all honesty, I just never did. Whoa, back that bitch up. I don't know what I just said. I have no recollection of what I just said, but what I really meant to say is I got inspired to want to read it, and then I just never ended up buying it. I just never, I guess, came across it. I'm not much of a like religious or spiritual person. Like, I'm just in this world. I feel like things happen for a reason. So the fact that I didn't start listening to it until the middle of December in 2025, there's a whole reason why I didn't end up reading it until now, and there's a whole lot of reasons why I fought all of these battles in order to get to where I am now. So I feel like I'm babbling and I'm not even talking to you guys. It's been 11 minutes already. So I guess more of the story is this is just some of these next videos coming up at the end of this year, or I should say in the next like 2 weeks. So until the new year, little snippets of what you guys are going to see in 2025, little snippets of what you're going to see in 2026. So without further ado, obviously my current read, and when I'm talking about these books, I'm talking about physically reading them. My whole plan with each of these books is to like grab a highlighter out and highlight the things that are important, kind of like you would in a Bible when you are really trying to deeply understand a Bible, and like you go to Bible studies. But I feel like, and that could be a whole separate talk on its own, I feel like I want to treat these self-help books as a guide, honestly, like homework, but I don't want to call it homework. I want to treat them in such a way where when I go back to them and when I see them later on after I had read them and highlighted and all of that wonderful jazz, I want to be able to go back to that book anytime I need it, envision why, and reevaluate why I had started reading those books in the first place. So with that being said, Atomic Habits, I did already start listening to it as we were just talking about, but like I said, reading these books, like physically reading them, is my #1 priority when I'm reading about these. Now, these aren't like 2026, like I have to read these, because honestly, this is 22 books. I've only read one book this year, so I don't expect myself to read all of these books this upcoming year. This Is How You Heal. That book, I read a little like summary of it a couple hours ago, and that's just exactly what I need in a book. I need something to teach me how to heal, teach me how to understand and articulate how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way. That way I can work on the next step of solving that problem. The Psychology of Being That Girl. This book was talking about how, and again, I've never read any of these books, so it's just basically going what I got off of Pinterest. Some of the benefits of being that girl, and I'm sure there will be cons to like everything else in this world. I don't know, that's exactly why I'm talking to you guys about it, because I'm curious. As they all say, curiosity kills the cat. What the aesthetic of being a that girl entails and how it will affect you. How to talk to yourself. This book, I didn't even need to read the summary of the book, because all I needed was the name of the book. How to talk to yourself. I think I've talked about it in a few of my more recent Vlogmas episodes, that I do talk to myself negative. And that's one thing that I'm like really bad at, is if something happened, or let's just say I dropped my phone, I forgot something, I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Like, no, you're not, girlfriend. You need to word and treat yourself right, because how you treat yourself is really how you're going to treat everybody else. So I think that's just one thing I didn't even need to read the summary on. The Insecure Girl's Handbook. Another book that I didn't even need to read the summary on, because quite literally, I feel like everybody is insecure about something, but there comes a point when you get a little too insecure about everything. Looking from the Pinterest tab kind of felt to me that it was talking about, I guess, the ideology about securities and I guess how to fix it. That's just what I got from the little Pinterest. Women who think too much. I am a chronic overthinker, and when I tell you curiosity kills the cat, like I think over everything, and at the end of the day I think too much, and that's my damn problem. I overthink things, and sometimes it affects my work, because I'll have, like, I think I'll have such a good day coming, and like I'll be like on top of the world before I even walk into work, halfway or a quarter way through the day. It'll hit me like a damn dump truck, and I will just start chronically ill, I feel like, overthinking everything. And it comes to a point where I'm so focused overthinking that I forget to give myself grace. And at the end of the day, giving myself grace is okay, because you're not perfect. No one's ever perfect. I'm not going to tell you and sit here and tell you that I'm perfect, because I'm not. Overthinking is one of the biggest problems that I have. And just walking right into the next one, girl therapy. Need I say more? Girl therapy. Again, need I say more? 14-day mind cleanse. Some of these books are just going to be like looking at you like, do I need to say more? I got into the self-help book side of Pinterest. It's like a freaking rabbit hole, guys. It's like when you're on like a really good side of TikTok, and all you can do is just scroll for days. Like, seriously. I need a complete mind reset. Now, when I'm saying mind reset, I'm not talking about I'm so perfect, I'm always gonna be perfect, like I've always got my shit together, because at the end of the day, there's people who are 45, have 2 kids, a little baby, maybe even 2 little babies, and are soccer parents, football parents, and don't have their shit together, are whipping up a dinner from thin air. So no one has their shit together all the time. I'm just looking for a book that can a lot of that negativity. I'm not even saying one magic, a series of different books in the self-help the self-help book genre to take out that negativity and bring in the positivity. Because like I said before, I can't get to my vision board aesthetic without help of a book. Why did I think of this ages ago? Let's see. Being a woman in your 20s in this fucked up generation, that's me. I feel like that's one of those books that there's a few of those unhinged books in here that almost made me not even want to read more about it, because I feel like it's going to be one of those books that when I read it, that it's going to be so mind-boggling. I didn't want any spoilers. Keep it shut. That's obviously talking about, from my understanding, and I like when I read a summary, like I read the most vague summary of in the entire planet, so it was very vague. I didn't really want to know much. I want to walk into these books being quite literally mind-boggled. It kind of sounded like a gossipy type of, I feel like it would talk about all the gossip, how to tame your thoughts within the gossip down, if that makes any sense. Like tame your mind from thinking that people are always thinking about you. That's kind of what I got from the summary. I could be wrong. I could be mixing it up with all the other books. The Pink Person Theory. That one kind of threw me for a loop. And I still really don't understand what the book is actually talking about, because when I read the summary, it wasn't really making any sense to me. So I'm taking that book as a, when I read it, it's gonna like change my life in some instance. Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers. This one kind of gave me a lot of hints, didn't really need to read the summary. This one to me talks about the context clues, talks about treating yourself and how treating yourself is a nice and rewarding thing you can do, and you always need to treat yourself once in a blue moon. To build a healthy brain. That one kind of just sounds like a mandatory book in my opinion. Kind of gave me like mindset vibes. Think Faster, Talk Smarter. That kind of like, I read some of it, not like some of it, like I read some of the summary but not all of it. But from my understanding, it's like a book to help guide you through almost like a conversation. Maybe not one specific conversation, but how to make yourself sound smarter, but also working on being consistent with answering. That's also just from context clues. One essays that will change the way you think. That one gave me the I don't even want to read anything, because it sounds like I am personally going to be mind boggled. So Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That one I also did not read. It kind of gave me a lot of context clues just within the title itself. That one's gonna hit, and it's gonna hit really nice like a dump truck. I think I'm a little delulu because when I'm talking to you guys, I feel like I've been saying dump truck a lot, but we're just chatting. We're having a girl chat. We're having an empowering girl chat. Don't believe everything you think. If that's an older style book that came out not so recently, I feel like it's just going to talk about your mindset, but in the other end, I feel like it would be one of those books to talk about social media if it was a newer style book. Good Vibes, Good Life. That one, I honestly, that like vibes, when you put vibes in a book name, to me that kind of just gives you the idea of like vibes. I don't know how to describe how I feel with wanting to read that book. I think that was just one of those books that the title just threw itself to this. Like I just typed the title, that's it. Sounded exquisite. The Power of Your Subconscious. More of a mindset book. What I'm looking for more in specific. The Courage to Be Disliked. That one sparked my interest, because usually a lot of people want to be liked, so why would you want to be disliked? But then again, not everybody's gonna like you, so it doesn't matter. The last few I honestly didn't want to read the summary of. A, I was getting a little lazy, and B, because I genuinely wanted to keep it as real as possible with myself when I'm reading them. Unfuck Yourself, I've definitely heard of the self-help book before, but I've never gotten to lay my hands on it. The last one, so number 22, How to Talk to Anyone. That kind of bunny hops right off How to Talk to Yourself. If you guys end up reading any of these books or have read any of these books, let me know in the comments, because don't give me any hints, but let me know in the comments and tell me how you felt after reading the book. Girl, I'm so excited. I feel like I almost am like excited to finish reading or listening to the first audiobook, so Atomic Habits, because I'm already enjoying it so much that I don't ever want to stop listening to it. But I feel like I've talked way too much, and of course I could talk about health, wellness, and all the things in the mix for hours on end, so I won't bore you guys too much in this specific video. But if you guys like my wellness content, also comment down below this emoji. Stay at peace, love yourself, and give yourself grace.